How to be the perfect guest. Hello and welcome to Videojug. The perfect guest is the yin to the host's yang. Opposite but complementary, he attends the party on the host's terms, yet remains responsible for his own and others' enjoyment. We've teamed up with etiquette expert Diana Mather to show you how to be the perfect guest. Step 1. RSVP. When you receive an invitation to a party, whether it's a dinner party or an informal get-together, it's simple courtesy to let your host know whether or not you can make it. This is particularly important for a dinner party where they will need to know how many to cook for. A good host will have issued the invitations well in advance and may have given you a date by which to respond. You should always respond before this date, whether you can attend or not. If the invitation doesn't include an RSVP date, you should respond as soon as possible and not later than a week before the event. Step 2. Arrival. Your host will have told you what time to arrive. It's polite to arrive between 10 and 20 minutes after this time. This will allow your host an extra few minutes to make sure they are ready before guests arrive. You should never arrive early, particularly for a dinner party, as the host will not be ready for you. If you are going to arrive late, then you should call ahead to let your host know, or they may think you've forgotten. It's very rude to arrive any later than half an hour after the stated arrival time. Step 3. Gifts. Some people like to take a small gift to thank the host for their hospitality. Champagne or other small consumables like chocolate or preserves are always a good idea. If you present your host with a bunch of flowers, they will need to find a vase, fill it with water and find somewhere to put your gift, an unwelcome interruption if they're trying to welcome guests at the same time. If you do take a gift, you should never expect it to be used on the night. Instead, give it to your host and suggest they save it for their own use later. Step 4. Join in. A party is only as much fun as the people who attend. You should do your best to join in wherever possible. Make conversation, get to know the other guests, and have fun. If the host has planned some games or other events, take part. If there is something you don't like, don't complain, but try and make the best of it. Step 5. Drink responsibly. A bit of lubrication always helps a party to run smoothly, but be careful not to overdo it. Try to drink a glass of water for every alcoholic drink. This will stop you getting a hangover the next day and will help you keep your head when it matters. Step 6. Don't outstay your welcome. If the invitation stated a time for the party to finish, you should make sure that you leave at or soon before that time. You don't know what else your host has planned. They may be busy the next day or may simply be exhausted from the party and want to sleep. Of course, they may be enjoying the party and want it to continue, in which case they should make it clear to you that they want you to stay. If they do, that's your cue to put down your coat and pick up another drink. Step 7. Say thank you. After your host has gone to all the trouble of putting a barnstorming party together, the least you can do is thank them. This will let your host know that someone appreciated their efforts, and apart from anything else, a well-timed thank you will make you more likely to get an invite the next time. For a drinks party or informal gathering, a simple phone call will do the job perfectly. For a more formal dinner party, it's polite to send a postcard or a short letter. If you've stayed for the weekend, you should send a letter covering at least 2 sides. Done.